Hey guys, Recruit Motorcycles here today, and I kind of want to talk about a little bit of a subject. Now, one of my more recent videos was done on Squid Tip's police misconduct incident.
How you doing?
Oh shit!
And it really made me want to do this video that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, and that's like this whole thing like with cops versus bikers. Now, of course, I'm gonna take the early on cop out and say, yeah, there's bad people on both sides. I mean, that detective that pulled that gun on Squid, I mean, that was totally fucked up. And he shouldn't have done it. But however, on the other side, there are a lot of bikers out there that drive like assholes, or ride like assholes, I should say. Now, I am going to include myself in that category because, I mean, there are some times whenever someone gets a little bit too close to me and I'm, just pop a little finger just like that. But I also want to address the issue, are bikers being unfair towards police? Now, you can just go on YouTube and see like cops versus bikers, biker gets away from cop chases biker, or that one video where the cop hit that one bike at the stoplight. That was absolutely insane. And I'm glad that the department lost that lawsuit because it was ridiculous and it was absolutely uncalled for. But at the same time, what are we supposed to think as bikers whenever, what should a cop think? Because, like looking at this bike, it looks like a sport bike. Well, I mean, it kind of is a sport bike. Like instead of having the more aggressive riding position, it's more upright. But most cops aren't really going to know the difference, if you really think about it. No offense to the cops out there, but a lot of you guys don't ride. But anyways, so if I'm just sitting here on this bike, or if I'm like, especially like kind of in the semi-tuck position or full tuck, and I'm doing like 90 down the highway, and the cop on my clock's going 90 into 55. Don't do that. Anytime you do that, do it in Mexico. But the cop's gonna be like, okay, is this guy gonna run or is he not gonna? And if he pulls out behind you, he doesn't know if he's going to be involved in a high-speed motorcycle chase, or if it'll be a simple scenario of the biker pulling over and being polite, or if he pulls over and the biker's going to be an absolute dick to him. I mean, it's one reason to have a blue line flag at the back of my helmet is to be like, hey, look, guys. Well, back to the quest is to be like, hey, look, guys. I'm not going to run. I don't want any trouble. If you pull me over, just let's just have a good let's have a good talk. And if you give me a ticket, you give me a ticket. No big deal. Especially if I was breaking the law. Which we all do if we're being honest. That didn't sound good. Alright, so anyways, aside from my stupidity thinking that I'm pop spring on my foot peg, cops and bikers, we need to have this more mutual respect for each other, because if you really think about it, we're really similar in a lot of ways. Every time a biker puts on the gear, hopefully puts on your gear, and hopefully you put on your helmet, every time you roll out of the garage, you don't know if you're going to be coming back in one piece the next, you don't know if you're going to be coming home at all, let alone in one piece. And every time that a cop kisses his wife or husband goodbye, his or her wife or husband goodbye, no matter which way, or if they just are going in for work, they don't know if they're going to be coming back home alive or the same. Because cops see a lot of really fucked up shit. Almost on a daily basis. Not always on a daily basis, but they see it enough to really have an impact on them. You don't know if there's going to be a 16-year-old kid that you get called to their house for because they overdosed on heroin. You don't know if they're going to go to some 35-year-old's place who blew his head off with a shotgun. Or you could just have a normal shift where just write a couple traffic tickets, have a couple encounters, one jerk off that you pull over. Regardless, both groups, we each have something, we both do something that involves a hell of a lot of risk. And I know what people say, oh, well, being a cop isn't the most dangerous job in the country. I'm sorry, but you gotta think about it. The numbers aren't always the best way to go about things. And I know that's coming from me, and I'm kind of a hypocrite whenever I say that, because I go by the numbers on a lot of stuff. But however, if you actually think about it, whenever I go out, I could get run over by a car that ran a red light because someone was on their phone. And if a cop pulls over that same person for texting and running me over, and if they flood the accident, he doesn't know if that driver is going to pull a gun on him and shoot him in the head. It's a simple fact of life. And I think we need to have a little bit more mutual respect for each other. Now, I'm not trying to be detrimental towards anyone who's had a negative encounter with the police or a cop who's had a negative encounter with a biker. I just want people to actually kind of have that sort of mutual respect and understanding that we need to have if we really want to function in this part of society. I mean, one thing that I always try to do as a biker, and I know I don't always do it, but I always try to like wave at everyone who like does a small thing for me. So like, let's say I'm riding along and someone doesn't pull out in front of me. I'm like, hey, thanks for not waving, thanks for not cutting in front of me. It's common sense and decency, and they'll be like, you know what? Maybe I should make sure that I don't cut in front of someone, even if I'm in a little bit of a hurry, whether it's a cager or another rider. And also, I mean, just be respectful of cops. And also, I mean, if you're an officer out there and you pull me over, for example, I'll be respectful to you, but the only thing I ask is that you be a little bit respectful to me. Because it's that kind of, like I just said, it's that kind of decency and respect that this country needs more of. Instead of just being like social media fiends that just go all over the place, being like, oh, man, that fucking pig. Which, don't even call a cop a pig, that's just rude. Unless if he calls himself one as a joke, then you can jokingly call him, But anyways, that's not my place. But yeah, I mean, it's like, we just need to be like less tribalistic and actually be like, hey, you know what? That other guy's a person too. That cop, that's a person too. That cop could be a rider. That rider could want to be a cop. And if you give that rider a bad experience, he might be like, do you know what? Do I really want to go into law enforcement? Do I really want to be a Leo? And I think that's something that we all have to think about very, very seriously. And I hope we all do think about it because, I mean, if I end up, I want to go into the criminal justice system, not as an officer of the law, but as an officer of the law, but really as a criminal defense attorney one day. And I don't want to ever have to have a bad experience with a cop just because I'm riding a sport bike. That's not right. I don't want to have a bad experience with a cop just because I'm on a motorcycle, period. And as a cop, I wouldn't want to have a bad experience with the biker just because I'm a cop. Hell, I wouldn't want to have any bad experience with anyone just because I'm a cop. So anyways, guys, just a little bit of food for thought. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. And if you want to, leave a like. I mean, share it with your friends if you want to. These videos aren't monetized, so do whatever you want to. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a nice day. And to all the cops and bikers out there, stay safe and try to have fun. See ya. Hey guys, so for any of you that don't know, I live in St. Louis or around St. Louis, and today Officer Blake Snyder, who if you're from the area, you know exactly what I'm talking about, his plaque was added to the St. Louis County Wall of the Fallen. So I actually saw this after I made this video, and I just want to let you guys know, always try to be respectful towards cops because they really do have reason to be concerned over what's actually happening in their life. So I really just want you guys to take that into consideration next time you get pulled over or something like that. Don't be disrespectful or rude or anything to the cop. I mean, just make sure that you do everything you can to avoid making the officer nervous. And for all you officers out there, I know I said this at the end of the video, but make sure you guys stay safe out there because everyone knows that we really need you. Anyways, guys, take care and make sure you're thankful for who you have.